So back when I was looking at Nobile split boards, I couldn't find any information about them. Now that I've had them a few years, I figured I'd put together a quick video to let people know what I thought. If you don't have time to watch the whole video, here's my quick take. These boards are great for travel. I've been hit with bag fees. I've actually had multiple bag fees on a trip. I've had my board bags not fit in a local taxi. Both of these boards fit in check-in bags, which just makes the whole travel experience more predictable. The NHP twin tip, it's a great intermediate board. This is a big upgrade for a beginner. It might not be for a super aggressive advanced rider, and I actually love the pads, so if you travel or live in a small apartment, I would get it. The infinity foil, on the other hand, is more of a mixed bag. It's not a great surfboard, it's not a great foil board, but it does pack down and it does both. So if you want that versatility and you want one that packs down, you might want to consider it. For those of you that want more details, let's get into the pros and cons of each. Starting with the NHP twin tip, let's get into the pros. First, this thing packs small. I think it actually fits in a carry-on bag, but it definitely fits in a check-in bag. Next, it's toolless. You can assemble this thing with 0 tools, which is really great because I often forget those when I'm traveling. Next, it rides well. You'd never know that it was a split board. Coming from a beginner Slingshot misfit, this was a big upgrade. It rode better upwind, it was better for popping. I got a really good, nice, snug fit with the straps, and I progressed a lot on this board. Last, the Click and Go straps. I love how adjustable these are. They fit great, and they're very easily adjustable on the water. Now for the cons. First, the durability. These boards get lots of nicks and scrapes pretty quickly, mostly cosmetic, but I just wasn't used to that coming from Slingshot, which is totally bomb-proof. Next is the foot pad mounting. It's toolless, but it's really fiddly. There's a big plastic attachment on the side of the foot pads, and if you have big hands, it's hard to get your fingers in there. It's hard to get it to line up with the hole in the board. Tightening it is kind of tricky, and if you're in a rush or it's cold outside, it can be a real hassle. Last con is the compatibility of the foot pads. Nobile uses a non-standard width, so that's super frustrating if you want to use these pads on another board. It's also a pain if you're traveling and break your Nobile pads. You can't just get something local and quick and throw it on your board. All right, let's get into the pros and cons for the Infinity split foil. First, it packs small. I found that this board could fit in a couple of different standard check-in suitcases. It fit in along with some kites, a pump, and a harness. It's really nice. Next, it's flexible. So I got this board initially as a surfboard or directional, which helped me learn how to do my foot switch and riding waves. Ultimately, I found out this board was a pretty good light wind board, so I used it a lot when the wind died and I didn't want to pump up a bigger kite. I would just switch to this board for my twin tip. And last, it's a good beginner foil board, and the big pro is that it's compatible with the Slingshot hover glide system, which I'll probably do a review on later. Last, I love the concave deck pad. This is a huge benefit when you're learning how to ride strapless and doing water starts. It just gives you a lot of leverage. You can just put your heel on this lip, and then when you're riding, it also helps you know where the edge of the board is. In terms of cons, first, it's heavy, so this takes a little bit away from the packability, and it's also a bigger pain when you're carrying it down the beach attached to a foil. Next, it's got some of the same durability issues in terms of nicks and scratches, but I found quality control was a bit lacking. My deck pad fell off, I had to re-glue it, and they weren't super reactive with the warranty. Next con is really the native foil options. I tried the Nobile and Shin foil and wing when I first started, and there just weren't a ton of big, stable surf wings out there. So the next con is that it's not truly toolless. You actually need a fin key, and it's really annoying when you forget a fin key when you're traveling. And last con is that it's a twin fin. The previous year's model came in a thruster, that's 3 fins, and that's what I prefer, that's what I thought I was getting, and I just prefer that locked-in feel that you get, whereas with a twin fin, it's a little bit slippery and skatey. So there you have it. The main benefits really are travel, but you never really notice that these are split boards. I used to mostly rent gear on a trip so that I didn't have to bring stuff with me, but after ripping a kite in Sri Lanka, getting really uncomfortable straps, on a trip in Greece having a bad board, I'm starting to get picky enough where it's just easier to bring my own stuff that I know I can trust. So these boards both fit in a variety of check-in bags. That makes the travel experience a lot more predictable. Airlines, local transport, everyone's really accustomed to traveling with check-in bags. That just eliminates all the surprises. So if you like this or thought it was useful, give me a thumbs up. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments below. If you have ideas for future reviews, put them down there